Whenever you have a home to sell and you're looking for a new property to buy, it's important to really consider buying and selling in the same market. So when you're buying and selling a home in the same market, it allows you to evaluate what type of market you're in and make the best decision to know whether you should buy or sell first. And that's a big part in the whole process itself, because sometimes in a fast-paced market, it makes the most sense to buy a property first, because you know that your property to sell is not going to be that hard, or at least you can reasonably tell the time it's going to take. So it's better to know where you're going to live rather than vice versa, selling a property and then you lose out on all these offers and things like that. So that's what plays a big benefit in buying and selling in the same market. And some people do get lucky. Some people, let's say, stay in the property that they're living in. They buy first and they buy for a low price, and they give themselves, let's say, a longer closing, 90 days plus. And then at the time where it comes to sell, the market has sped up so much and now you're making more because the market is very much higher than what it was when you buy. And now you get to sell for a higher price than you were expecting if you would have sold at the same time of when you bought the home. There comes risk when it comes to deciding those type of things, but you want to be careful and you want to make sure that you're giving yourself the best chance of being profitable and you're making the best decision by buying and selling in the same market. A simple way to explain it is that 5 plus 5 is 10. And 6 plus 4 is still 10. And what that means is that the numbers may change. The profit margins might stay the same, but the numbers might change. For example, if you're buying a house for $1 million, and let's say later on it goes for 1.2, if you would have waited and it was 800,000 and then it goes up to $1 million, the profit margin is still 200,000. So the profit itself is not changing. It's just the numbers might change. And that really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, as long as you're making the decision at the time and you're buying high, you sell high. If you're buying low, you sell low. These are the things where if you're buying and selling in the same market, you get to take advantage of these certain situations and not feel like you undersold. There is a situation where sometimes people sell and then they rent, but you don't know what's going to happen in the future. You don't know if the market is going to pick up and now you've, you sold for a number that you thought was good, but who knows if later on things sell for even higher and now you've nudged yourself out of the market. These are things nobody can tell you. Even if you're a realtor, you've been doing this for who knows how long, 10 plus years, 20 plus years, doesn't matter. You want to make sure that you put yourself in the best spot and that you understand that risk, so that if you do decide to sell and rent and you're pocketing money because you're pocketing the equity that you benefited from, you don't want to now rent for longer than you expected, because now you're eating away at your equity that you would have, let's say, put into another property and now you've lost out on because the values have went up. So it's a risk. People have to understand that nobody really knows what the future has in store. Nobody knew that COVID was going to come and drop the interest rates to make the market go up. Nobody can predict those things. So make the assessment of risk based on what's in front of you. And it's important to really understand that buying and selling in the same market just allows you to make better judgment and see what's in front of you. Key thing that I tell people is stay within your affordability. I know that it can be crazy out there when you're competing with other people and you have to feel like you're putting something on paper that's maybe a little bit more than what you're looking to spend. Stay within what you're comfortable with. Always look at your mortgage payment if that's what you're doing. If you're getting money as a mortgage, make sure you look at that more than anything, and then make the assessment whether you can afford more than what you thought because the rates are a little bit better, whatever it is. But you don't want to regret later on jumping on something because it felt good at that time, but you didn't do that proper assessment on the numbers.